Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, April 6th. It is 8:38 a.m. and let's get started. Let's take a look at the news for today. And looks like we had challenger job cuts. I've never heard of that. At 7:30, unemployment at 8:30. That one, obviously, I've heard of that one. Then we got natural gas today at 10:30. Don't think that anything should keep us too bottled up this morning, but we'll have to see what comes. Let's take a look at what oil has done overnight. Let's adjust our levels here. So value area high goes to yesterday's value area high. This is yesterday's VPOC. And here is yesterday's value area low. Overnight, I see overnight VPOC here, so we'll take that. Here is yesterday overnight's low. And here is overnight high. Okay, now let's look at what actually happened overnight. Here's the close from the pit session. Well, it looks like we are pretty neutral with inventory. We have a bit of a distribution up top here with the low volume node separating this distribution down here. But for the most part, this has been pretty well distributed, meaning we had a distribution here, a clean break. There is a little break inside this distribution, but I'm going to call this one the distribution here. Let me draw these out. Sorry. Distribution here, distribution here, and we are now working on the distribution up here. So we'll keep that in mind for our homework. Let's bring in our hourly chart and do that homework. Do our hypotheses. Let's see if there's any levels that were breached yesterday that need to come off. I'm going to say that this one, I'm going to leave this one on, because if you see what happened was we tested it from above and it held. Then we tested it from above and it broke, but we never really tested it from below. So I'm going to leave this one on. I'm also going to add in yesterday's high as a swing point. So we're going to see those kind of doubled up on themselves. Yesterday's low happens to coincide with current overnight VPOC. Here's a level down here that we're going to pull off. Okay. We're also going to mark off yesterday's low, and it does coincide with yesterday's VPOC. So again, we're going to see this double up here. But come tomorrow, the overnight VPOC will shift. I certainly want to have my swing low marked off on the chart. Also, value area low from yesterday seems like a pretty nice support. You see how we came, we pushed through it. I'm guessing, I didn't actually look at the chart, but we pushed through it. We pushed through what ultimately became value area low, tested the low of day, tested what became low of day, and then when we get back above value area low, it really held nicely as support there. So we'll keep an eye on that today. All right, let's take a look at what we have. So we are currently trading 51.40. Let's use that as our starting point. So what we're going to look for, hypothesis number one is going to be a test of value area high, overnight high, looking for a move away and a failure on a retest to bring us back into yesterday's VPOC and this former microcomposite VPOC. Hang on 1 second. Something seems off here. Do I not have yesterday's VPOC drawn properly? I do Let me see. I do not. Yeah. All right. So, sorry. That's better. So open, test overnight high, test value area high. Look for a push away and failure on a retest. Coming in to test yesterday's VPOC. Chop a little bit here. Again, maybe a push away with some more failure, but ultimately coming into yesterday's value area low and testing yesterday's low of day, possibly with a swing back up towards VPOC for end of day. That's going to be hypothesis number one. Hypothesis number two is going to be an open push towards VPOC from yesterday, hold, come back up, maybe get a nice opportunity in here, ultimately come trade through value area high, overnight high, and make our way up towards yesterday's high. And look for that to hold. Okay, so now I'm going to have two more for us. And after I draw them out, I'll try to remember to go over something real quick. So another option, another potential is going to be an open. Sorry. Open. Immediately get above value area high, immediately get above overnight high, push. Look for a retest, and then we're looking to go long and see if we can't break these swings and then get into this void, which I believe we would traverse through pretty quickly. That's going to be hypo 3. Okay. And hypo 4 is going to be the opposite. Excuse me. Sorry. Push down. Test. Overnight VPOC. Test value area low. See it fail. Ultimately come through overnight low, come through these swings, and make our push down towards this naked VPOC that we are going to want to plot on our chart. So I'm just going to copy and paste this. I'll put it right here. I'm going to turn this into a dotted line. Okay, that's going to be hypo 4. Now, I want to prep for the S&P if I have the time, but I also want to cover something real quick about these hypotheses. So what I'm going to do, let me see what I have. I have plenty of time. While I move these lines around on the S&P, I'm going to talk about some hypothesis stuff. So you have to keep in mind that when we draw out these hypotheses, you can very easily, in the course of one day, have 2, 3 hypotheses that all play out. Okay, they don't have. It's not just one necessarily that has to play out, and we can start. We can start with one hypotheses, one hypo playing out in the first part of the day. Then another plays out in another part of the day. But it all goes back to the idea that we're watching for specific levels and price reaction at those levels. Okay. So yeah, just wanted to kind of. I know we really never have discussed that particular concept. So I thought that was worth discussing. All right, so let's just finish up here. Here's overnight VPOC. Here is overnight low. And we see overnight low coincides with a former microcomposite VPOC. Let's see what we've done overnight. The close of yesterday is way down. Whoa. Holy crap. We fell, what, 30 points? Holy shit. All right, cool. I'm guessing somebody said something, or well, it doesn't really matter to me. As you guys don't know, I pay no attention to news. I pay attention to when it comes out, so I make sure I'm not in trades prior to there being a potential major news announcement. But I really couldn't care less what the actual announcement said. I'm more interested in what the chart shows us than I am in the news itself. So we are net short right now on the inventory. Most of the trading happened below yesterday's close. You can see yesterday's close right here. So basically, if we were to make a straight line across from there, that's yesterday's close. In this case, we happen to have this dashed line that's helping us represent that. So most of the trading last night happened below the close, which makes us net short. Now, we've obviously corrected a good chunk of it here, and but that's not to say that we are completely corrected. Also, we did have a major move down last night, which was continued at the opening of the overnight session, but we've taken back a bit of that. We're back up to 2360. So let's go take a look at this over on our homework chart and see what this looks like. Let me just see what time it is. Oh, good, plenty of time. Okay. All right. Man, that is one heck of a move down. All right. So interestingly enough, what we tried to do yesterday, we tried to come up. I believe we talked about this on one of our hypos. I could be wrong, but we tried to come up to get to microcomposite VPOC from this microcomposite. You know, we pushed into that range, into this microcomposite, and we tried to get up into the VPOC of it. We failed up there, which brought us back down into this. Let's do some drawing here. Brought us back down into this value area, and ultimately we pushed all the way down and got back into this microcomposite VPOC of this microcomposite, right? So we came all the way down to test here. So let's take a look at what we think we got going for us today. Okay, let's see. So let's see where we're trading. Currently trading 2350, we'll call it. Oh, so we're right at overnight high. Is that what? Yeah, okay. So we're right at overnight high right now. So when we do our homework, unfortunately, between now and the time that the S&P opens, we can see some things change since we are right at the overnight high. This overnight high, there's a very good chance that it's going to be at a different point by the time the equities market opens at 9:30. So, but the concepts of what we're going to do, we're going to stay the same. So since we are inside this distribution on the top side and this distribution on the bottom side, I'm sorry if this is unclear. I know there's a lot of stuff going on here. What we're watching for is going to be this. Our first hypo is going to be an open, push above overnight high, pull back, looking for an opportunity to get long, come test microcomposite VPOC of this distribution here, okay? So we're looking to see if we can't come test the microcomposite VPOC there. To further continue this hypo, if we're going to see if we're going to look for this to hold, retest and break, ultimately hold the support, and then we're going to expect to come and test this former microcomposite VPOC into yesterday's value area low. That's going to be hypo 1. You can see that it coincides with a low volume node here. We have a low volume cluster here. So, you know, we can see this move extend a little bit, but ultimately we're looking for this to be potentially the end of that move. So that's hypothesis 1. Okay, now hypo 2. Hypothesis 2 is going to be an open, break above the high, failure, come back below the high, but it has to be a strong move. Retest, fail. Now we're looking to see if we can't push down and get to microcomposite of this distribution. distribution. At this point, if we get to that microcomposite, we're going to look to see if this holds, which certainly looks like it may. If this holds, we're going to expect a turn back up and ultimately a push back up into this microcomposite. We're going to call this hypo 2. Oh, I need to pull off some of these swings and add yesterday's high and low. So let's just put copy paste. This is yesterday's low, and let's come up here. Copy paste. This is yesterday's high. As for levels that we breached yesterday, we can take this one off because we breached. We traded through this level from the bottom, and then we traded through this level from the top. That level for us is now gone. This swing here, this level, you see we never traded from the bottom. We started above it, and then we traded through it from the top. So we're going to leave this on until we test this again. That holds true with these two levels as well. And that holds true, and that holds true with this level down here. So we're going to hang on here. Okay, so let's go back and continue here. So we're going to say now hypo 3. Hypo 3 is going to be the opposite of hypo 2. I almost don't need to draw it, but I will. I will. So it'll be a push up from overnight high, get to microcomposite VPOC up here, fail, push back through overnight high, continue to push down to microcomposite and low from yesterday. From here, if we can break below here, then our expectation is going to be testing overnight VPOC and ultimately overnight low. This is going to be hypo 3. So let me look here for a second. We did hypo 1, hypo 2, hypo 3. That's pretty good. So again, remember, these hypotheses can work in conjunction with each other. Let me try to give you an example of that. What could happen? What had happened was something like this. So we can open here, right? And we're talking about how we might break below overnight high, come test this VPOC, make its way down to swing low. Okay, fine. Let's say that happens, and then we traverse all the way back up here. Well, now we're looking at, can we get above overnight high, get a decent move above it, hold the support. Now we're looking for the test of this microcomposite VPOC. At that point, two of our hypotheses have basically come together. So again, the key thing for us is we watch the levels. We look to see which ones act as support and resistance. We're looking for, I talked about it yesterday in one of the trades that I had gotten wrong. I talked about how sometimes you need to wait for the move to happen before deciding which direction you want to be going in, and I'll try to have us look at that again today. Currently sitting at overnight high of crude with not really nice negative divergence on the BBs, so we're going to be looking for a short here. How far till open? Okay, 3 minutes. For those that don't remember, what negative divergence means is if you look at the price. So this was the previous high here. Let me change this color. If you look at this previous high here, if price were to currently come up there and touch it, and then I go back and I look at where this indicator was at that time compared to where this indicator is at this time, you see how this is sloping down while price is basically flat from here to here. That's called negative divergence. We look at that as an opportunity. We look at that as one of the reasons to potentially go short and sell. So we are watching right now for a potential short opportunity here. You guys, I don't know if you know or don't know, I do not normally trade before the open. I do like this setup, so I'm going to give it a shot. Yes?
Daddy, mom just needs 15 minutes.
Can you please go tell mommy that daddy's trading? Or you can hang out in here. You can hang out and watch your iPad or watching TV. Okay? My love. So we got into a short here. I would be willing to scale But to be honest, I can't really tell you up until where. I'd really like my stop ultimately to end up being above this swing here, get one more level in my favor. But that's a bit away from where we are. 50, that would have to put us at 70, so I'd have to really be patient on my scales. Okay. Let's see what we got here. About a minute and 20 seconds to the open. We're hitting the bid here. Or they just added on some size. I don't want to get too deep in order flow before the open just yet. And usually the first move of the day, it's very impulsive, so the order flow is pretty hard to read at that speed. But I definitely, obviously, would like to see some sellers step in here. So the reason I'm moving this up right now is I'm in my one contract, okay, from 50. Remember, my maximum risk per trade is 300 bucks. This is not a good risk versus reward. Meaning, my intention certainly is not to get stopped out here. But the reason I'm moving it is we could get a very quick spike off the open that I would try to add into my position, add into my short position, and then once I'm in that, I will adjust my stop to its proper place. So there was one little bounce there right before the open. We're going to adjust overnight high to match. Now we're going to see if if we get another little boost up here or if we start pushing down. Okay, so we're going to scale into here. I'm sorry, Max. What were you saying, buddy? Sounds good. Okay, so we're in our short here. So we're looking for an impulsive move down. We're looking for a push down here. First proper target here is at 10 ticks ahead of this swing from overnight. Second proper target right now is at 20 ticks, which coincides with this swing from overnight, but we might adjust that one. I don't think we're going to adjust the first one. Yeah, so let's see if we can push down. Let's see if we can't push down, get to our proper target here on this first one. We got to within a couple of ticks there, but we need to, excuse me, we need to continue pushing. So the way I have my orders set up and the strategy set up, NinjaTrader automatically moves my stop to break even when any of my positions are up by 10 ticks. But I moved it away because I don't want to get stopped out here, right in the middle of this. I'd be more interested in getting short if we pop back up. So I moved my stop back above overnight high. Really don't want to see this come back up and test the current open today. I really want to see this continue to push down, which is just not happening right now. Buyers are stepping up there. Buyers are coming high bid. They have a bit of size with them when they do. Still seeing some pretty good buying strength coming in here. I'm actually not thrilled about that. I don't like that value area high held so perfectly here. These big blue dots. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know if it's value area high, value area low. It doesn't really matter. I don't like that value area held so perfectly. That is value area high. Shoot. I think we're going to be in trouble here. I shouldn't say that. I mean, we still have this previous swing high that can act as resistance here. Of course, we have overnight high that we're using right now as our area of resistance that we're front running. I'm sorry, behind for our stop. But I really would have liked to have seen the push down get through value area high. We saw this yesterday happen at what was at the time overnight high, and we never actually pushed through, and it turned into holding on as support. Turned into holding on as support, and ultimately we got stopped out of our trade. I actually don't remember how the trade went and tell you the truth, shit, I don't remember most of my trades from yesterday. And I watched my video last night, and I can't remember what it was. But I really don't like how this turned here. So I believe I might be in some trouble. Buyers are still stepping up. Let's see if sellers, nice reaction there, but we need to see them start hitting these bids and pushing back away from overnight high and retesting value area high from yesterday. We need to start hitting these bids. Buyers holding their ground right there. They just added on. Really don't like that. Did it again. And see, in an area like this, although sellers are also adding on, that's a little less exciting to me because buyers are the ones that have stepped up into this price. That right there looked nice, where sellers added on and then pushed down. That's what I'm looking for here. Let's see here. Buyer stepped in again there. See right there, we just saw them add a lot of size. I like that the sellers are responding. Here come the buyers again. I like that the sellers were responding when they saw that a bunch of size. It looked like the sellers added on too, but we're not pushing away from here like I want us to. I think we are in trouble. There comes buying again. This is pretty much our last hope here for sellers to step in and defend the overnight high. Which they did. 1 second, buddy, okay? Which they did, but now we have some stacked buyers. Oh, I love it.
I changed myself.
High five. That's amazing. Nice job. Oh, you wait till mommy sees that. She's gonna be so impressed. All right, so once again, buyers stepped in here. Pretty much just waiting till we stop that. I didn't want to just scratch the trade. Our risk is lower than normal. It's a 7-tick risk. We're only in 2 of the 3 contracts. The BBs are so sloped down. Truth is, I could probably move I could probably move my stop away and look to scale into one more, but I'm not doing that just because of how well value area high held. This still looks like if value area high holds and stays, this could easily turn into a pretty strong opening move up. So I don't want to continue to scale short. If we get lucky and we turn from overnight high and make our way back down to value area high and see us break below there, well, then we have some other things to debate. But right now, it's still the buyers in charge here. Now remember, when it comes to order flow, that can change in an instant, but that as of this second, that's what it is. The buyers are stepping up more than the sellers are coming down. It just happened again. I am going to close my trade at break even. Now, there's a very, not a very good chance. There's a chance we closed our trade. Now it's ultimately just going to turn and go straight down. And if that happens, so be it. But the reasoning for my trade, the negative divergence, that's good. That stays intact. But part of our homework, if you remember, was that if value area high holds and we can get above overnight high, we're looking for a test of that with an opportunity to get long. And I think, and we may or may not get that test, but I'll tell you, overnight high really is. Sellers are really stepping in here at overnight high. They might turn this back down, but it's just a little bit too indecisive for me on order flow right now. Again, buyer stepped up here. See, this whole time we've been coming up with VWAP. I won't lie to you, it's gonna be a little disappointing if this comes down and turns into a significant downwards move, but that's okay. That's okay. We have to remember the reasons why we are in a trade. Negative divergence, we still had with we actually even had that since the open, but at any point right now I can get back into my short if I choose to. That is not what I'm choosing to do at this point. Let me show you here from overnight as well, something we should take a look at. As you can see, again, just like yesterday, we are in an uptrend from overnight. We can see prices have moved up the entire time. So even this short here is definitely, it's counter trend, generally speaking, counter trend is I tend to do better on counter trend trades. But when the order flow is resisting the way that one was, I think it's better off to just kind of hang out. What, baby? Yeah. Just about. So we're right where we were when we closed our trade. We pretty much haven't done anything. You can see VWAP is still holding as support. On the S&P, we've shifted overnight high, so let's just get that up to date. But this whole time, we've been trading and accepting above value area high from yesterday. That really does lend itself to the belief that we are going to, there's a push down here. Oh, you bastard. That really does lend itself to the belief that we're going to make a test for yesterday's high. If value area high can continue to hold that support, that would be the next expected move. So sellers were able to defend overnight high. Buyers pushed hard enough against it to scare us out of our trade. Not that we would be in out of our trade or in a profitable trade just yet, but that being said, it has pushed down away from overnight high. Let's see if if value area low, I'm sorry, value area high here gets defended by the buyers. Buyers stepped in there fairly nicely. You could see how thick these levels are. Everything is, close to 100 and over 100, up and down this the depth of market here. If you remember, over the last few weeks, we have not seen that be the case. We have seen those down in the 60s and 70s across the board. So generally, the less volatile the price is, the thicker the levels are going to be, and I think that's what we're seeing today. Sellers coming down, but buyers are holding this level pretty good right now. I'd like to see if we can't get a push down. The BBs definitely do not show positive divergence from the opening low right here to now. We certainly do not have positive divergence, but buyers have stepped in here a couple of times. Sellers have stepped in here a couple of times. We're in a pretty tight range with order flow. Our short was nice in the sense that we had it from a good price point. We were well, not a great price, but we were short 52. So we're still really just hovering around there. We've gotten below VWAP. We're trading below VWAP, but right now it's really all about value area high. If we test value area high and value area high continues to hold like it did here, if we test value area high and it holds, the expectation is to come up from here and ultimately make a push towards 51.88. If value area high fails, then our expectation changes pretty well. And to fail, and this is where we have to be careful that we don't get into the mistakes of my recent trading. Failing would mean a sharp push through, a retest, and a hold. An impulsive move, retest, and hold. Not impulsive move and then impulsive move right back up. That would be considered a hold. But if we do get an impulsive move through and then an impulsive move down, we would then be expecting a push down to 51.15. But here again, buyers, so you can see how thick the levels are here with the sellers. Sellers have really stepped down, but buyers so far have not let price drop below where we're sitting at now. Okay, sellers are starting to put some pressure on. Let's see what happens here. Here's value area high. Buyers just stepped in, sellers came right back at them. I am taking a long here. Buyers are stepping in nicely there. So I have my stop down where it is because we see a lot of times an impulsive move and then an impulsive move right back. And I don't want to put my stop right here because I can get caught in that first impulsive move down and then it turned right back in my favor. So we're looking at value area high to hold the support. We just saw buyers step in a little bit to hold to make it look like that might happen. We just saw it again. But now, like from the top side, now we need to see buyers not just step in and be willing to absorb orders. We need them to step in and start taking offers, start pushing price up. So let's see if that ultimately happens. So again, they're adding on here, but now that's what we want. No, that's not it. We want to see us trade the offer, but we want to see the offer, the quantity on the offer to drop and then ultimately turn green, meaning the buyers have stepped up like that. And then I like how that added on size quickly. Now we're looking for the same thing to happen all over again. We want to see these offers go down to where there are very few contracts left and then ultimately turn green and have buyers add on. See what happened there? They turned green real briefly and sellers came right back. Not exactly what we were looking for. Keep in mind, this is very, very microscopic, okay? You will drive yourself crazy reading order flow. But this is what I was looking for. I was looking for buyers to at least step in and make it look like they're going to try to defend value area high as a support, which right now that has happened. Whether or not they're going to ultimately push price up, I can't tell you that. I don't know. Okay, buyer stepped up nicely there. The sellers just bought right back. Let's get back above VWAP. I'm going to move my profit target here because I'm only in my one contract. Get this out of the way for now. I'm only in my one contract. I do see that we have negative divergence near the overnight high, and the way I'm going to ultimately, well, let's see what happens when it gets there before I get too potentially confusing. So again, what I'm watching for is trading to happen at the offer. Right now we're trading at the bid, but while we're at the bid, it got bigger. Size got added on. That's a good sign. Right there, the seller stepped in and did the exact same thing. What I'm looking to see happen is as much as possible trading happen at the offer. So I want the price to be hovering above the red background colors. And while we're doing that, I want the colors that are in that red background, the numbers that are in that red background to go down and then ultimately have the green numbers step up, which is not, right now we saw the opposite of that. I'm holding off on moving my stop for the same reason as I said before. We have yet to break through value area low, and there is the possibility on that first breakthrough where it is an impulsive, a quick spike and a quick spike back. And I just don't want my stop to be right here where we get. Let me find an example of it. There's really nothing else for me to do here, though. Right here. So see how you have this big, even better. See this big green candle and then this big red candle right after that? If I had my stop above this blue line here, I'd be stopped out in this big swing and then it would come right back down. That's the only reason I'm giving my stop room to breathe, is for the potential of that type of move. If that move happens and it hits my stop and it comes up, that's just bad luck. I mean, I'm far enough away where that shouldn't be the case. So, all right, let's get back and take a look. I know the order flow is going to be a little bit boring, but it's probably the hardest part of what we do to understand. Everything else that I try to show you is fairly easy to understand. Now, that doesn't mean we can put it into practice properly. I certainly don't. Nice push there by buyers. Let's see where this goes. Whoa. Brought right back down by the sellers. But that was nice. So there's a good example. See how we had a quick impulsive move right through VWAP? I want this to hold. I don't want this impulsive move to come back at us. Let's see if we can get through overnight high now. So again, I'm watching order flow. If I feel as if the sellers are gonna defend here again, I might just close out my trade and look for our next opportunity. I am at this point moving my stop to break even. If I fail here and I come back to break even, I believe that at that point we're making our way down towards value area high from yesterday, and I'll have another opportunity to get into a trade. But right now, again, this is the reason I'm in my trade. We got in towards the bottom of the channel, could have gotten a slightly better. Actually, I don't know how much better we could have gotten this real quick move here. But the idea was, can we traverse this channel and then ultimately start getting into the upswing that we're looking for based on the homework, that if value area high holds, the expectation is that we're going to push up towards yesterday's high. Now, I don't know that we're going to be in our trade that entire way if we break overnight high in today's current high. I don't want to be presumptuous here. But right now, we saw a nice impulsive move by the buyers. Now we need to see them continue to step in just like they did there. And sellers are defending up here. Very thick here with offers. We have a real big one up here, 228 up here. But let's see if the buyers are able to hold here and start pushing back up. Nice add on there. Sellers came right back down. And there go buyers again. Now we need to start trading the offer. We can see that we're currently trading the bid. This yellow number, that 52, that's at the price we're trading. What that number means is there's still 48 trades left before this candle closes. And I think I might have some new people on here, and if I'm saying something you don't understand, please do not hesitate to ask. I know I have not had the chance to go through some of the basics with you. Please don't hesitate to ask, and I'll do my best to answer. Okay, I know if you've never heard the terminology that we're using, that's the confusing part. Believe me, once you understand the terminology, most of what I'm saying is fairly simple. The hard part about trading is putting your ideas into practice. The money management, the proper sizing, being patient, which is my downfall. That's my Achilles heel in trading. But okay, so buyers have continued to step up here. Sellers have continued to absorb up here. I do like that buyers are stepping up. I do like that buyers are trying to push through. We haven't seen a ton of trading happen up here in this push up. So let's see if the buyers can actually really start putting pressure on the sellers here. And what would they do? Right now, it is the sellers absorbing up here. Definitely looks like they're protecting overnight high once again. If we had more than one contract, I would be getting out of one right now. Even though it's not a 10-tick profit target, even though it's 5-6 ticks, I would be closing one of my contracts right now. One more attempt here. So now we just traded offer, but nothing really happened. Currently trading bid. Okay, stepped up offer, back to bid. All right, back to offer. Now we're trading. So bid stepped up nicely. We need to get up to the next offer. We got to get 51.56 and see if we can't start trading there. That was very nice. That was good. Took a lot of size off there. We stepped right up with a big bid. Want to see that continue to happen. Sellers are still defending. So again, sellers just stepped right in there again. I am closing my trade. One contract or not, I am closing this trade. Sellers have absolutely shown that they are willing to defend overnight high. I'm very, very interested right now, potentially taking a short. One more hold up here. This is exactly what I want to see test. Okay. Bids adding on. I want to see if sellers will hold this. They did. I'm taking a short here. And I'm moving my stop right below this large amount of people here. If we get through there, I believe that we are going to continue to push. So fairly tight stop. So basically, we're looking for the same thing to happen now as happened last time we came to overnight high, right here. We're looking for the sellers to continue to defend this area, and then buyers ultimately to run out of steam, make a push down, and come and ultimately test one more time for value area high. And again, I'm going to be paying very close attention to order flow here. I do have a tight stop. It's a 5-tick stop instead of our normal 10-tick stop. But I'm still going to be paying very close attention to order flow. If it looks like buyers are not going to allow this to get back down towards value area high, I would close the trade early. Oh, there's a big push by the buyers. Speaking of closing trades, see you later. Yeah, good timing. Good timing. And buyers continue to push up here. We do have really strong negative divergence in the BBs. I'm not jumping back into a short here just yet because I don't like how far we are from this level. So what we would want to see, remember I talked about a spike up through a level, or down here I was talking about a spike down through a level and a spike right back up. That's kind of what we could be seeing right here. We spiked right up, and now we pushed down, we pushed down, but we have not really come back through there. So let's see if overnight high continues to hold. They might have tricked me out of my long trade here. What time we got? So about 2 minutes till the open of the S&P. Let's take a look at what we have on the S&P. So we have no real negative divergence up here at the overnight high. Oh, oil continues to go. What we're watching for in oil is a continued push away from overnight high, and then we'd like to see if we can't get a retest of it. So even something like this, I'm not too interested in getting long just yet. We're still pretty close to this high, meaning if I get long here, my 10-tick profit target would mean we'd have to break the high and even break this level in order for that to be a profitable trade. So I'm not really looking to do that. Watching the S&P here for the open. 30 seconds. So we do have we have a very minor negative divergence on the 2584 here. None anywhere else. So we are, excuse me, I am not necessarily looking for a short here at the open. I know a lot of times when we open so close to the overnight high, I do talk about wanting to take shorts right there you open. So right now we're pretty much going to be watching them both. Take a look here. Because of yesterday's ridiculous move down in the S&P, we're so far below yesterday's value area low that there's really nothing for me to even look at as a reference. So we're just going to kind of let the open play out and see what opportunities come up. So we're right back to overnight high here in crude. Now we've come back below it. Now what we're going to look for is, are we going to hold it as support? Are we going to see buyers step in to hold overnight higher support? Or are we going to do exactly what we just did? And then the next step would be to come below it, retest it, and then ultimately make its way back down, in this case, to test value area low. We are in an awful tight range, though. As for the S&P, we have our overnight high up here. Our BBs have, after the open, the BBs have come down, turned down nicely. That does start presenting itself for the possibility of, if we push up and the BBs still have nice negative divergence, we could be looking for a short trade here. Just mistimed our short a little bit there on crude. Good example of if we used our normal 10-tick stop, we would actually still be in our trade here. Now, that's not to say the trade would ultimately work, but we would be in it. S&P open and has only pushed down. We're going to see if we come and test this swing down here. and what happens when we do. Oils come back to middle of the day, the current open of the day. Remember, we're still above value area high, so we still have to have the idea that if value area high from yesterday continues to hold, we're going to start to continue to try to push up here. So let's see if we can't get a pullback to test value area high. Buyer stepped in and defended right there at the mid and the VWAP. Let me go see if I can't get our hypotheses from today. Hopefully I capture these screens properly. Let's bring the S&P in real quick. Okay, so here's the hypotheses that we put in place for the S&P today. We had, let me see if I did that. There we go. Oh, okay. So hypo 1 was an open, and overnight high had shifted a bit from where we did our homework, but the same basic concept. Open, get above overnight high, push up. That's not how we started. Hypo 2 was open, test up a bit, push down into right around where it looks like we're coming right now, down to this microcomposite VPOC, and then a turn from there. So let's see if either of those, let's see if that plays out in any way whatsoever. For oil, again, just as a review for us, this time actually we'll put this on this side. For oil, our first hypothesis was an open, test overnight high, have overnight high fail, push and come through value area low down. That was one of the hypotheses. A second hypothesis, let's see which one we're playing off of right now. Here it is. Open, test overnight high, have overnight high fail, test value area low, have value area low hold, and then we push up towards where you see our drawing ultimately there. This is what's currently playing out. Unfortunately, I'm not in it. They tricked me out of my last long position. But that is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for opportunities to pullbacks to get long. Let's see what's going on here on the S&P. Very, very. I want to call it a quiet morning. Okay, I mean there's really not much. We have a 20 tick range in oil, 64 on the high side, 44 on the down. I mean that's really nothing. S&P looks like we came real close to yesterday's close and then pushed away. Let's take a look a little bit further into. I mean, this really could be a pullback in this what ended up being a substantial downtrend yesterday. I would love to see a test back up here. Overnight high coincides with some other really nice swings there. I'd love to see a test of that. I don't know if we're going to get it, though. So crude, everything is just very small pullbacks. You know, this was a good one. This 10-tick pullback could have been looking to go long at VWAP. By the time I noticed it, this candle had already almost completely closed, and it was already 51, 56, 57, and I just didn't think that. I thought that was paying up a little too much to get into that trade. But we are continuing to create higher highs, continuing to create higher lows, continuing to push in an uptrend here with oil. S&P pushing up to the current high a day, so we're testing to see. We have real nice negative divergence at this point on the first two, the 1597 and the 2584. We even have negative divergence on the 4181. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna scale in. I'm late. I'm late on that trade. I should have seen this before. I should have a better price. So I am willing to scale into this trade. And in fact, I'm going to do that. And I'm willing to scale one more, much closer to overnight high. In fact, I have my order out here to get a short if we get that, spike up that you've heard me talk about. And I'm watching the order flow to see if it makes sense for me to move my order down by a tick or two to get into the trade. Right now, buyers have stepped up. Sellers are defending here. Buyers still putting the pressure on. So let's see. Okay, we're in 3 now. Not a great entry point. I was switching over to it. I saw the BBs. I did not really have a chance to watch order flow at all, so I reacted to the BBs alone. But what we're looking for is basically what we were watching for in oil, where we were looking for the overnight high to act as resistance and for sellers to step in and push away from it. Now, the one thing different in the S&P than what we saw in oil, we had the context of we were opening above yesterday's value area high, and we had tested it and it held. We tested it and it held. So really, the overwhelming direction was going to be positive. The assumption was this was going to hold, and we were going to make a move up in oil. S&P, on the other hand, we're really in a downtrend, and we're looking for this to be the end of the pullback in the downtrend. Now, right now, that's being very, very much being put at risk. But that's the idea right there. Sellers to step in at overnight high. I don't want it to be where the buyers are just taking a breath. I want it to be where they get away and sellers start, imposing their will. But that's not quite happening. It's more like the first answer where buyers looked like they just took a breath. They didn't. They haven't finished buying up here. We could see buyers continue to step up. Just stepped up with some pretty significant size there. Even more so. Sellers pushed it back again. Now we need to see the seller start trading, start putting. That all looked good. That all looked good. Now again, I don't know. We don't know where it's going to go from there. But in the very short term, that was exactly what we were looking for. Now again, I have to start watching order flow here. Oil we see has pushed all the way up to this previous swing. BBs do not show any negative divergence. If I were looking to trade oil, I'd still be looking for opportunity to buy pullbacks. Let's bring back up my What do I do with these? So what we just saw here, because remember the overnight high changed. When we did our homework, overnight high was 2350. When we opened, it was 2353. What we were looking for was basically a push up towards this swing, which we started getting, failure, and then a push down, which we are looking for this to ultimately come down to 2338. So we're going to move. I actually like where I am here. I'm going to come down a little bit ahead of overnight VPOC. I mean, we have a long way to go before this is even worth discussing, but no reason to not have it in place. Okay, this was second idea, and this is actually why my second profit target is going to go where it is. Here we look for, again, we moved from where we started, but basically we were looking for resistance on a push up, exactly what we got here. Ultimately, then a push down to come in and test near, but above yesterday's low. So if we were to take a look at where that is, okay, so we're coming down. Stops at break even. Should be getting filled here on one of my profit targets. Okay, we got one. Second profit target's going to be, here's yesterday's low, I believe. Let me go back. I don't know why it's not plotting on this chart. Give me 1 second. Sorry. Yesterday's low, 44.25. Yeah, okay, good. So this is exactly where I want my second profit target to be. Stop again is currently a break even. Uh-oh, made a boo-boo there. I closed the chart I needed. Shoot. All right, let's get that back. So what we're watching for down here on the S&P while I fix my boo-boo is we're watching to see if we get any positive divergence on the BBs as we test the low, which currently we are not getting any positive divergence, so that's good. My chart's frozen, sorry about that. I know there's going to be things on this chart that I'm about to load that are going to be a little different than where I last left them. Oh, we just got to the tick of our profit target. Oh, that's bullshit. So I am going to close this second. Yeah, I hate when that happens. Last one, we're leaving on with our stop. Right now, we're going to do right above value area low. Okay. We see oil has turned back down, but I know I'm missing information on here, and I can't remember can't remember what it was. Oh, you know what? I'll be able to figure that out when I review my videos tonight. Okay, so the reason why, I actually really don't want my stop here. Yeah, I'm more interested in looking for another short opportunity here than to close out my trade. So we came and tested this one with microcomposite VPOC to the tick. My profit target was missed by tick. That's what I get for not front running. That's my fault. I am taking one more short here. And I'm moving my stop down a bunch because that I don't want that trade to ultimately make this first trade a bad one. So what I did is I took a quick short, moved my stop down where my first original trade, I'm a really nice profit target. I'm sorry, really nice profit. Second one would be a very tight stop. I'm actually going to, still don't have any positive divergence down here. I'm going to just take a quick scalp on that one. Just make a quick four or five ticks. If this one comes out and stops me out, so be it. That was a nice little scalp. I'm glad I closed that second one out because it really would have burnt a hole in my ass if I got into a trade and it came and stopped me out and then went in my favor. Okay, so pushed up through the stop. Nice trade. That was a good one. Excuse me. Coming up to test the VWAP. You look at oil. Oil came all the way back down to overnight high, potentially giving us a nice, nice trade opportunity here. But, or wasn't watching it. Really, nothing I could do. I'm currently watching the S&P, looking for another opportunity to get short. And in the meantime, I am also keeping an eye over on oil. Just seeing where that's at. Sitting at overnight high. We do have the beginnings of a pretty well defined head and shoulders pattern here. Right, where we can see this hold as resistance and push down. But still, the fact that we stayed above value area high, the fact that we traded and accepted above overnight high still really lends itself to the idea that we're going to be making a push towards the high of yesterday. S&P continuing to come back up off its bottom. That sounded funny. Remember, one of the hypos, we talked about this exactly. Open, test this I believe it was this exact level. Now, let me go get it. Hopefully this time when I go to close it, I don't close my chart with it. So VWAP currently has held as resistance. Looks like we're making another push at that. I'm not sure what's happening here. I'm not able to load those screenshots right now. But okay. Coming up through VWAP. That's a strong push back up in oil here. I'm sorry, in S&P. Even with this strong push, it looks like we would have negative divergence if we came all the way back up to overnight high. Crude is sitting right at the middle of the day right now. Yes, pushing the value area, current value area high. Real strong push here. Still negative divergence. I'm not looking to go short during this type of strong move, but I am waiting and looking for a good sign of sellers stepping in. Not yet. Oh, it's 9:55. Shoot. Okay. Still negative divergence on 2 of the 3 on the S&P. I'm going to take a short right here. We just had seen sellers step in. We're going to look to see if they will defend overnight high again. Buyers step back in there. Let's see if sellers defend current high a day. Buyers still showing size, still showing that they're willing to step up and buy here. So let's see what the sellers do. They're trying. Sellers are trying to absorb here. But buyers have put a lot of pressure. So just saw buyers step in there again, right at that overnight high. Now, we don't want that to turn into support. We don't want to see the buyers treat that as an area that they want to defend. We want to see this get back below. Oil made a nice move back up from overnight high. Darn it. Picked the wrong one. Buyers definitely and clearly showed they want to hold overnight high as support on that push down. Let's see if sellers can continue to step in here. BBs are losing their negative divergence, so that's definitely not helping me. This one might get ugly here. Buyers definitely showing that they're willing to step up here. They're doing it again. Sellers absorbing up here. Now we need to see them start pushing down and get through this overnight. Here, get through this overnight high. Get back down into today's value area. Get below current value area high, below overnight high, and start pushing down. Oh, buyers just stepped in there again. So far, this one still being defended. Sellers are really giving this a shot this time. Buyers are still defending this overnight high. Darn it. That one looked like it might go. Once again, back to the top side of the channel, we see buyers pressing up, sellers absorbing. Which side of this channel is going to break first? Right now, it looks like the top side. Every time we get to the top side, it's that. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right, good. That actually, I do have to run, so I would have rather have gone the other way, but so be it. All right, guys. Decent trading day today. Quite happy with it. If, as always, if you have any questions, just get in touch with me. Other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow.